Right now, inside your body, your liver is likely storing pounds of trapped fat and a thick, stagnant, toxic waste that your body simply cannot get rid of on its own. You feel it as that stubborn midsection bloat. You feel it as that heavy exhaustion that hits you before noon. And you've probably been told it's just a normal part of getting older. But a recent landmark study from Johns Hopkins revealed a terrifying truth. After the age of 50, your liver's ability to flush out waste doesn't just slow down, it drops by a staggering 47%. Almost half of your internal filtration system has essentially gone offline, and nobody is telling you how to restart it. Most detoxes you see online are actually making this worse. They are trying to flush a system where the exit doors are still locked. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to naturally flush that 5 lbs of waste by using a mechanical trick your grandparents knew but modern medicine has completely ignored. I've ranked 8 specific drinks from entry level to the most powerful. And the number 1 drink on this list? It costs less than $1, it's likely in your kitchen right now, and clinical trials show it can boost your liver's fat-clearing capacity by over 50% in just 7 days. But I have to warn you, the number 1 secret on this list completely contradicts everything you've been told about healthy eating since the 1980s. If you skip even one of these steps, you're just circulating those toxins back into your blood. If you want to stop dragging yourself through the afternoon and finally see that puffiness disappear, you need to understand the garbage truck secret I'm about to reveal. Because your liver isn't broken, it's just clogged, and the clock is ticking on that 47% decline. Let's open the exit doors. Now, before we get into the list of drinks, we have to talk about why your liver is struggling. Most people think of the liver as a filter, like the one in your car or under your sink. But that's actually the wrong way to look at it. Think of your liver more like a massive, busy city. Every single day, your body produces trash, metabolic waste, environmental toxins, and old hormones. To get that trash out of the city and into the landfill, which is your gut, you need 2 things. You need the trash bagged up, and you need the garbage trucks to be running. This is where most cleanses fail. They try to bag the trash, but they forget to check if the trucks can actually leave the garage. In your body, those garbage trucks are made of something called bile. Bile is a thick, greenish-yellow fluid produced by your liver. Its primary job, besides helping you digest that steak or those healthy fats, is to act as a transport vehicle. It literally grabs the toxins your liver has neutralized and carries them out of the organ. But here's the problem. As we get older, or if we eat too many processed seed oils, our bile starts to change. It goes from being a thin, free-flowing liquid, like dish soap, to becoming thick, sticky, and stagnant. It turns into what doctors call biliary sludge. When this happens, you develop a condition called choleresis failure. Imagine the garbage trucks are now stuck in a massive traffic jam inside your liver's narrow corridors. The trucks can't move, so the trash starts piling up in the streets, which are your cells. This is why you feel heavy. This is why you feel clogged. It's not a medical mystery, it's a plumbing issue. But there's a second part to this architecture that almost no one talks about, and it's called Phase 2 detoxification. Your liver is a 2-step factory. In Phase 1, it takes a toxin and turns it into a reactive intermediate. Basically, it unboxes the trash. But here's the scary part, that unboxed trash is often more toxic than the original version. To safely escort it out of your body, your liver needs specific raw materials to neutralize it. If you don't have enough glycine and choline, the process stops dead. Think of glycine like the specialized biohazard bags, and choline like the fuel for the garbage trucks. Without choline, your liver cannot package fat and toxins into tiny particles called VLDL to move them out. The fat just sits there piling up, eventually leading to what we know as fatty liver. According to data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, a staggering 90% of Americans are deficient in choline. This is the hidden gap. You aren't broken. You aren't just getting old. You are malnourished in a very specific modern way. We've spent 40 years being told to avoid egg yolks and organ meats, the very foods our ancestors prized for their choline and glycine. We traded ancestral wisdom for processed convenience, and our livers are paying the price. But here is the good news. Because this is a mechanical and nutritional issue, we can fix it with mechanical and nutritional solutions. We are going to start by thinning that sludge and refueling those trucks. Let's start with the first set of drinks that begin the process of opening the exit doors. Now that you understand that your liver isn't broken, it's just stuck in a traffic jam, we need to start clearing the road. I've ranked these next 4 drinks as entry level. They are the foundation. They won't do the heavy lifting of the number 1 drink we'll discuss at the end, but without them, the heavy lifters can't do their job. Drink number 8, the green tea truth. We've all heard that green tea is a superfood, right? But here's the real reason it's on this list. It contains a very specific antioxidant called EGCG. Think of EGCG like a tiny internal janitor for your liver cells. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that green tea extract significantly reduced liver fat in subjects with fatty liver disease. It helps protect the cells from the toxic sludge we talked about. But here is the green tea truth. Green tea protects the cells, but it doesn't move the bile. It's like cleaning the house but not taking the trash to the curb. It's a great start, but we need more. Drink number 7, lemon water and the bitter signal. Next up is a classic, warm lemon water. Most people think the vitamin C is the magic here. It's not. The real magic is the sourness. When that bitter, sour liquid hits your tongue, it sends a neurological wake-up call to your gallbladder. It's like a starter pistol for a race. Your gallbladder senses the bitterness and immediately begins to contract, squeezing out fresh bile. This is why I always recommend drinking this first thing in the morning. You're essentially flushing the pipes before you put any food in the system. It's simple, it's cheap, and it's the easiest way to tell your liver, hey, it's time to go to work. Drink number 6, the coffee paradox. This one usually surprises people. Coffee is actually incredible for your liver. The World Health Organization even suggested that coffee consumption is associated with a lower risk of liver cancer and cirrhosis. It contains compounds that lower the scars on your liver. But there's a catch. I call it the coffee paradox. Coffee is a diuretic. If you drink it black and don't follow it with water, it dehydrates your garbage trucks. Remember, bile is mostly water. If you're dehydrated, your bile turns from liquid soap into sticky glue. The fix. For every cup of coffee, you must drink 16 ounces of water with a pinch of sea salt. This ensures the coffee heals your liver enzymes without clogging the drain through dehydration. Drink number 5, unsweetened cranberry, the non-stick coating. Finally, we have the most underrated liver drink in the world, pure unsweetened cranberry juice. Not the sugary cocktail stuff from the juice aisle, but the tart, make-your-face-pucker version. Cranberries are packed with proanthocyanidins. In the medical world, these are famous for keeping bacteria from sticking to your bladder, but they do something very similar in your liver. They act like a non-stick coating for your liver cells. They prevent fat and toxins from sticking to the walls of your internal drainage pipes. A study in the International Journal of Food Sciences and Nutrition found that cranberry polyphenols significantly improved liver health markers in just 6 weeks. It makes the sludge slippery, so it slides right out. But as good as these 4 are, they are just the prep work. We haven't even touched the ingredients that physically rebuild your liver tissue, or the number 1 master key that forces the fat to melt away. That's what we're moving into next, starting with the 2 drinks that act like a chemical thinner for your bile. If the first 4 drinks were about clearing the road, these next 3 are the heavy machinery. We're moving into what I call the mechanical flush. This is where we stop just protecting the liver and start physically forcing the waste out. Drink number 4, ACV and turmeric, the bile thinner. Think back to that traffic jam we talked about earlier. When your bile is thick and sticky like molasses, it doesn't matter how much you clean your liver. The waste simply can't fit through the narrow exit ducts. This is where the combination of apple cider vinegar, ACV, and turmeric comes in. ACV contains acetic acid, which acts almost like a biological paint thinner for your bile. A study published in Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry showed that acetic acid significantly suppressed fat accumulation in the liver. When you mix it with turmeric, specifically the curcumin inside, you get a powerful mechanical effect. Curcumin triggers the gallbladder to contract, but because the ACV has already thinned the bile, that contraction actually works. It's like turning a rusted, stuck faucet and finally seeing the water run clear. Drink number 3, dandelion root. Now, if you've ever seen dandelions in your yard and thought of them as just weeds, you're looking at one of the most powerful engine starters in nature. While lemon water suggests to the liver to wake up, dandelion root demands it. It contains compounds that specifically target your bile acid receptors. Research in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology confirms that dandelion root increases the flow of bile significantly. I call it the engine starter because it jumpstarts the liver's production of new, fresh bile. It's not just moving the old stuff out, it's forcing the factory to start producing fresh cleaning fluid. If you feel sluggish or heavy after a meal, this is the signal your liver is begging for. Drink number 2, bone broth. As we get closer to our number 1 master key, we have to address the damage. If your liver has been clogged for years, the tissues are likely tired and inflamed. You can't just flush a system that's leaking. You need a repair kit. That kit is bone broth. And the secret ingredient inside is an amino acid called glycine. Most people focus on protein for muscles, but your liver uses glycine for something much more important. Phase 2, conjugation. This is the process where the liver chemically staples a nutrient to a toxin so it can be safely carried out of the body. Without glycine, the garbage just sits in the bags, rotting. Furthermore, studies in the journal JPEN, Journal of Parenteral and Enteral Nutrition, have shown that glycine can actually help reverse the inflammation caused by seed oils and excess fructose. It's like sending a construction crew into the liver to patch the walls and reinforce the pipes while the flush is happening. We are so close now. We've thinned the sludge, we've started the engine, and we've repaired the pipes. But none of this matters, and I mean none of it, if you don't have the master key to unlock the fat itself. There is one specific nutrient that 9 out of 10 people watching this are missing, and without it, your liver is basically a garbage truck with no fuel. Let's talk about the number 1 drink that changes everything. We've reached the top of the list. We've thinned the bile, started the engine, and patched the pipes. But even with the roads cleared, the garbage inside your liver is still heavy. It's dense. It's stubborn. To move 5 pounds of trapped fat and toxic waste out of a 4-pound organ, you need a biological forklift. And that leads us to the number 1 most powerful liver flushing secret in existence. The liquid egg yolk. Now, I know what you're thinking. Eggs? I thought those were bad for my cholesterol. That single thought is exactly why so many people are struggling with sluggish livers today. We have to talk about the ancestral betrayal. Think back to your grandparents or great-grandparents. They didn't have fatty liver disease stats like we do today. Why? Because they ate eggs every single morning. They didn't just eat the whites, they prized the yolks. In the 1980s, we were hit with the low-fat, low-cholesterol craze. We were told to throw away the yolks and eat cardboard-tasting egg whites. And guess what happened? As egg consumption dropped, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease rates exploded. Here is the science that your doctor likely hasn't mentioned. Your liver cannot export fat without a nutrient called choline. Think of choline as the fuel for those garbage trucks we discussed. Specifically, your liver needs choline to create something called VLDL, very low-density lipoprotein. VLDL is the only packaging your liver can use to send fat out into the bloodstream to be burned for energy. If you don't have choline, the fat is literally trapped. It gets stuck in the liver cells, piling up year after year, turning into that toxic sludge. And here's the kicker. One single egg yolk contains about 147 milligrams of choline. It is the most concentrated, bioavailable source of liver cleansing fuel on the planet. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that when people were deprived of choline, 77% of men and 80% of postmenopausal women developed fatty liver or muscle damage within weeks. But as soon as choline was put back into their diet, the damage reversed. By consuming a soft-boiled or liquid egg yolk, perhaps whisked into that warm bone broth we talked about, bypassing the heavy cooking process, you are giving your liver the master key it has been starving for since the 1980s. You aren't just eating breakfast. You're giving your liver the mechanical tools to finally dump the waste it's been holding on to for a decade. Your grandparents didn't have a secret liver supplement. They just had eggs. Now, knowing what to drink is only half the battle. If you take these in the wrong order or at the wrong time, you'll just end up with expensive urine. Let's move into the final phase, the 7-day protocol. The exact routine you need to follow to make sure this flush actually happens. We've covered the science, the garbage trucks, and the number one master key. But information without a plan is just noise. To actually flush those 5 pounds of waste, you need a specific protocol. You need to know exactly how to combine these ingredients into what I call the Liver Reset Power Tonic. You don't need a fancy blender or an expensive supplement cabinet. Here is your daily ritual for the next 7 days. The base. Take 1 cup of warm, not boiling, bone broth. Warmth is key. Cold liquids can cause the gallbladder to seize up, but warmth encourages it to relax and flow. The activator. Stir in half a teaspoon of turmeric and a tiny pinch of black pepper to unlock the curcumin. The master key. Gently whisk in 1 raw or very soft-boiled egg yolk. If the broth is too hot, it will cook the egg and denature some of those precious enzymes, so make sure it's just comfortably warm to the touch. The thinner. Add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Timing is everything. You are going to drink this 30 minutes before your biggest meal of the day, usually dinner. Why? Because by drinking this 30 minutes prior, you are preloading your bile ducts. You're thinning the sludge and fueling the trucks before your digestive system has to handle heavy fats. This prevents that after-dinner bloat and ensures that as soon as you eat, your liver is ready to dump waste rather than store more of it. I want to give you a fair warning. When you start moving waste that has been stuck for years, you might feel a little off on day 2 or 3. You might notice a temporary dip in energy, or you might see what we call cleansing stools, which can be a yellowish-orange color. Do not panic. This isn't a sign that the protocol is failing. It's a sign that the garbage trucks are finally reaching the landfill. Your body is recalibrating. If you feel a headache, drink more water with sea salt. Push through today 4, and I promise you, the brain fog will start to lift in a way you haven't felt in a decade. As we wrap up, I want you to remember one thing. Your independence is tied to your biology. When we're young, we take our health for granted. But as we cross 50, 60, and 70, the quality of our lives depends entirely on the quality of our internal filters. If your liver is clogged, your world gets smaller. You have less energy for your grandkids, less desire to travel, and less spark for life. But you have the power to change that. You aren't aging out. You were just clogged up. Take care of the filter, and the filter will take care of you. Start your 7-day reset tomorrow, not because you have to, but because you deserve to feel light, clear, and energized again. I'll see you in the next video.